Let's go! Soul Resonance!
Soul resonance. What could these two words beautifully placed together possibly be trying to convey? Well, have you ever felt a strong emotional connection to someone after you met them? Have you ever felt that you were on the same page as someone, that there was an emotional bond or even a spiritual bond, that you were on the same wavelength? All of these terms are beautifully encompassed within the words soul resonance. In the show Soul Eater, we have monsters, all right? If you give in to your intrusive thoughts in the world of Soul Eater, you're donezo, all right? If you're holding a baby and you're like, yo, what if I drop this baby? Or you see a grandma chilling in the kitchen and you're like, dang, wouldn't it be crazy if I just tripped her? Or you're driving down the highway and you're like, yo, this oncoming traffic, yo, it's looking a little bit too interesting. You might want to hit a little bit of a whip. If you give into these intrusive thoughts, yes, you would be a monster in real life, but in Soul Eater, you turn into an actual monster. Well, maybe not to driving into the highway, because then you'd be dead. But if you give into your intrusive thoughts, which is called the madness, you slowly turn into a monster. Your soul becomes corrupted. And we need people to deal with these corrupted people, okay? We can't just have them run across the street, because they do more bad things. They're out here chopping your mom, chopping your grandma, munching on people, all right? So we can't have that in these streets. As a result, we have Meister Academy. And in Meister Academy, we develop students. I don't know why we're having kids deal with our serious problems, but honestly, it's probably better than half these police officers. But we train these students in order to deal with these mad people, with these mad individuals. The two types of students, or the two types of individuals who are trained in order to deal with those crazy people are Meisters and demon weapons, or weapons. Demon weapons are simply humans, just like me and you. However, they have the ability to transform into a particular weapon. There are exceptions where demon weapons can transform into several different weapons, but for the most part, they can turn into one. Whereas Meisters are the individuals who are trained in order to wield these weapons, and when the two of them work together, they bring out their full potential. Interestingly enough, we have seen both Meisters and weapons be able to fight on their own and do pretty well. However, when they're both at their max at potential, when they're able to flourish at their best, is when Meisters and weapons work together. The way in which soul resonance works is that one individual out of the two, Meister weapon, will send their wavelength into the other person, and the other person will send it back, causing their soul wavelength to resonate, and that will cause them to have an even deeper connection, and they will share their strength and magnify it. Gracious goodness. The way in which it is explained within the show is that one individual is like a guitar, an electric guitar, and the other person is the amp, right? So yes, the guitar, like, it might be able to make some noise, but when you have the amp working together, but the amp can't just make noise on its own. When both people are like, they're chilling, they're working together, we can accomplish so much more. You know what I'm saying? We can conquer the world. We can do all things. Actually, that's with God. Yeah. We do have a character who thinks he's God, but let me not be blaspheming in this video. In Soul Resonance, the connection between these two individuals is so significant that you are even able to speak to one another without actual having to speak. You can talk to each other telepathically. Similarly to the way in which people in real life, not everybody's going to click together, not everybody's going to be able to work together, not everybody's going to be in the same wavelength, is the same way that soul resonance works in Soul Eater. In order for soul resonance to occur, two people need to be compatible, they need to be able to work together, they need to be on the same page, and this can be affected by your experience level, by your mindset, by the number of battles that you've been in. Perfect example is the character Black Star. As I mentioned before, we do have a character who believes that he can beat God. Now, I'm not promoting any of this stuff. I'm not trying to get struck by lightning, but we do have this character. And we also have another character, Soul, who's a pretty chill character. Black Star is an extreme narcissist. He believes that he can do everything, all right? Whereas Soul is not a narcissist. However, he does enjoy his spotlight. And as a result of these two characters trying to work together, we see that it doesn't work, because Black Star is a character who needs to be in the driver's seat. He needs the stage. And in order for someone to be able to work with Black Star, who is a Meister, while Soul is a weapon, in order for Black Star to be able to perform soul resonance with another character, he needs somebody who can ride in the passenger seat. He needs somebody who can be his player 2. He needs somebody who can be a backup dancer rather than the main performance, in order for his soul to be able to resonate with the other person, because his soul takes up the whole ride, the whole show. Like, he front dead center. All right, he's the show pony. All right, he is the show. He's not the clown, he's the circus. All right, so at all times he needs that front stage, and if he doesn't get that front stage, well,
Taking a sweat.
Black Star and Soul are definitely lacking in the compatible wavelength department.
So it seems.
Come on, you stupid soys! They're just there to lift you up!
Black Star, it's over between us.
What?
and this is one of the things that I really appreciate about Soul Eater, because character interactions is one of the most important aspects of just about any given show. The way in which characters can bounce off of each other causes one another to develop, have their different perspectives interact, and then have a character like grow based off of these interactions is always extremely important. So when you make soul resonance such an essential part of the show, where they have to work together in order to take care of the mad individuals, it makes it so that is at all times you're just having some really, really good and like fleshed out interactions that make for a very entertaining show. And furthermore, soul resonance doesn't just have to be done between one weapon and one Meister. It can be done between several groups of individuals made up of Meisters and weapons. But in order to do so, you guys all have to be on the same page as well, which makes for even more interesting episodes. Lastly, I would also like to say that they mentioned that the show Soul Eater and Fire Force are actually connected retroactively, but the main character from Fire Force, Shinra Kusakabe, is actually the creator of Soul Resonance, and we find that out later in the show Soul Eater. That is everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe. If you got any comments or any ideas for future videos, let me know. I want to talk about a whole bunch of different stuff, not just anime. So let me know what you want to hear. That's your boy Sleek. Peace.
Leo.
Driving through the 649 in my rental. Brace yourself like a dental. I've been fighting.